Learners, how are you all? I hope you guys are doing absolutely fine, staying safe. So in this lesson we're going to learn about HTTP request. So what is HTTP request? All HTTP messages contains request and response consist of one or more headers, and each one is just separated by a line or followed by a mandatory blank line or followed by an optional message body. So as you can see here, this is the HTTP request kind of thing. Okay, so this is the HTTP request kind of thing. So now let's analyze line by line what does each line means. Okay, so let's come to the first line. So let's mark it. Okay, in the first line what you can see here, there is three things. First one is get, second thing is just something like link, and the third thing is HTTP version. Okay, so let's see the first get. What does it mean? So in the first line what we can see here, it is a verb indicating the HTTP method. There are two kind of methods, mainly one is post and the second one is get. So we will come to it later on. So now it is get. Okay, so the most commonly used method is get, and whose function is to retrieve a resource from the web server, and a get request do not have a message body. So on a further data follows the link like after the message header. So there is nothing like any kind of a message here. So now you can understand what is get. Get is used to just retrieve data from the web server and just put it on the web page of the user. And the second thing what you can see here is the request URL. The request URL, what does it mean? So the request URL, the URL typically function as the name of the resource being requested, and together with the optional query string containing the parameters that the client is passing to the resource. The query string is indicated by a character and the URL. The example contain a single parameter that with the name of UID and the value of 129. So as you can see here is, so this is the URL. Okay, so this is the URL which is containing something in it. We shall see later in our attacking phase, so how it looks like in the case of practical thing. Okay, so the third thing is HTTP version. This HTTP version, this parameter indicates us which version we are using right now of HTTP. So currently we are using the 1.1 version. The only HTTP version common use on the internet are 1.0 or 1.1, and the most of the browser use 1.1 by default. There are few difference between the specification of these two versions. However, the only difference are likely to encounter when the attacking application is that the version 1.1 and the host request is mandatory. Okay, so there are some other things also, so we are going to cover it all. So let's see the referral header. So there is the referral header. Here it is. There's referral header. So what is it? So referral header, as the name suggesting us, refer, that is referring by something. Okay, referral header is used to indicate the URL from which the request originated. For example, because the user clicked on a link on the page, note that this header was misspelled in the original HTTP specification, and the misspelled version has been retained ever since. So this is how it is showing the request referrer. And the third thing is user agent. User agent is here, and what is user agent? User agent is a header used to provide information about the browser or the other client software that generated the request. Note that most of the browser includes a Mozilla prefix for historical reason. This was the user agent and string used by originally dominant Netscape browser, and other browser wanted to assert to website that they were compatible with this and the standard. So as with many queries from the computing history, it has become so established that it is still retained even on the current version of Internet Explorer, which made the request shown in the example. Okay, so as you can see here, Mozilla. Okay, so this is just like a historical reason. This is why it is always, you can see here, this is because of historical reason. And the third and the fourth thing is the host. Host is here. What is host? Host means the host, just as the name suggesting, to hosting something, and the host header specifies the host name that appeared in the full URL being accessed, and this is necessary when multiple websites are hosted on the same server, because the URLs run in the first line of the request usually does not contain a host name. So this is how you can see here, there is no host name, so this host is just showing the where the request is going to. Okay, and the last not the least thing is the cookies here. Don't worry, we will be covering all of these things later on. Cookies, as you can see here, cookies. So cookies header is used to submit additional parameter that the server has associated to the client. So we shall see later what is cookies, so just leave it now. So this is how the HTTP request works. The first thing is get is the HTTP method, the second thing is URL, and the third thing is HTTP version. Okay, and then we came to the referrer. Referrer is a website from where the main website is hosted, main website is referred. Okay, then we come to the user agent in which browser you are using in, and the cookies which is just given to the web browser by the server. Okay, so this is how HTTP request works. So now in the next lecture we are going to see HTTP response.